It's Monday! Okay, so I'm pleased to say that this is a response to our newest member, Douglas. His channel name is The Last Holdout. I think he gave you the link, but go and check him out, he's pretty cool. I think we're also getting Sofia on this channel. Her channel name is Brain Discovering, which should be really, really good. Andrew was telling me about that the other day. Anyway, on to the question. So, Douglas, you're asking how, if you have basically two tracks and you have to decide whether this train or trolley or whatever it is goes and kills 7 sort of basically random people from 7 strangers basically, or 1 person who is a romantic interest or a family member or something, and what would you do? And I've thought about this a fair bit, and I know it as the trolley problem. And it's mentioned in the God Delusion, but I actually stumbled on it earlier as well in a Wikipedia article. It's slightly different. It has 5 people on one side, and the 1 person on the other side is also a stranger, not a romantic interest. And I'll talk about that a bit more in a sec, but I just want to focus on this for a moment. For me, I think this is easy, and it's easy to say that you would choose the 7 people, and you would just have your romantic interest or family member die. And I think that this it's really a central idea of what it means to be moral, that you would choose those 7 people, and that is that you're not, when you're moral, you have to look after the interests of others, not just your own interest. Those 7 other people may well have romantic interests or be romantic interests themselves, just of other people, or they may have romantic interests in their later life. May well do. And even if it wasn't, you can't put so much value on 1 person. I mean, you may even think that, you probably would think, if it was a romantic interest, you would value that person more highly than 7 strangers or 500 strangers. But that's beside the point, because if you have made the commitment to make the moral decision in this kind of circumstance, then you would be going with the 7 strangers, because that is the moral thing to do. Now, whether or not you can justify to yourself that that's what you want to do, that's another matter. But nevertheless, that is what moral is. This is something that I was just sort of thinking about before I went about making this video. Is sort of the absolute nature of moral and how you justify being moral and etc. I think we can say for sure that saving the 7 people is the moral thing to do. It's just because that is what is considered to be moral. It's like that's really goes to the core of what the word moral means. It means looking after the interests of others, not just yourself. And the hard part is justifying why you would do that to yourself. What is the need to be moral? Whether it's moral or not is easy, at least in this circumstance. Anyway, that's just a sort of side point. So, yeah, and with the extent of this problem, I think even if it was 1 stranger versus your romantic interest, then sure, save your romantic interest. But if it's as much as 2 people on one side and your romantic interest on the other, I think you still need to save the 2 people. Um, anyway, so I want to talk a little bit about the trolley problem. I was wondering about doing this in one of my question videos, but because this one is so similar, I think I'll just do it here and I'll see if other people want to respond to this. Anyway, I'll see you guys later.